Welcome to the PIXELBERRY Choices podcast. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 4 of Shipwrecked. And as of the last chapter, we enjoyed a really intimate moment with our love interest in the lake. And then we came out of the lake and we saw on the top of a tree yellow eyes glowing, and that was a black panther. And our love interest comes right behind us and stills us because we make any sudden movements and we're doomed. So we in this chapter see that the panther is ready to attack us, but our love interest draws out the same knife she had when she saved us from drowning. But we know if she goes to attack that thing with a knife, as our love interest puts it, one of us will leave. Like either it kills us or we kill it, but there is risk. So I personally chose that our love interest will hop on our shoulder and then we'll just scare it away, like stomp our feet and make noises. So we're literally gonna scare it away. And later in a conversation, we will tell our love interest that we did it because we have studied a lot about animals and their natural habitat and in what ecosystem they live. So that was a really good instinct from our main character, which our love interest will appreciate. And then our love interest will have this conversation that how many times our love interest has saved us, and we can learn how to use knife from our love interest to that will help us bond with our love interest better, which is going to be very interesting at the end, because whether she will leave you or you two will survive, that will completely depend on your bond points, just like in It Lives or in those books. So I chose to learn the knife scene, or like the self-defense, that scene I chose. And it was quite interesting, like all the other scenes with the love interest, because I think this is one of a kind book, The Shipwrecked, because I don't think in any other choices book or in any other app store even, which is a single love interest book, and we get to spend this much time. I mean, it's mainly focusing on two characters, our main character and love interest. So the way we bond with our love interest, like we get more chance to bond, we get more chance to grow together. So by the end of this book, I'm sure the relationship our main character and our love interest will share will be more matured, more grown up, and the most developed love interest in choices, the most developed in a relationship, because we'll have so much time with each other and so much time to grow on each other, grow together, into a best version of relationship and best version of themselves, our main character and love interest. And also the way the love interest is written so far, love interest likes to keep their distance, but also the sarcasm, the drawing nature, it's just awesome. Like the banter, you call it a banter, call it like the dry replies, or with sarcasm. So those dry replies are wrapped with sarcasm on a wrapper, wrapped with a wrapper of sarcasm. So it's just awesome, like when our main character and love interest have a conversation, when our love interest replies, it's just a perfect dynamic, I would say. Like the chemistry, call it dynamic, whatever you're gonna call it, that's just perfect. And it was really needed for this kind of a single love interest book, where we're gonna spend a lot of time around a certain love interest, certain character. So I think it's perfect there. And then we learn how to use the knife and defend ourselves, and you get to be a little intimate with our love interest there. And then we'll get back from there, we'll just catch our breath. And remember, we were just making out before the panther thing happened. So our love interest will dress up into their usual clothes. Manu, our love interest name, the default name, you can customize it as you might. And then we get back to near the beach, and now we need to look for survival, because if you're shipwrecked in a place, you need to look for things to survive. So you need to look for survival items, like you need to have food. We took care of fresh water, now we need a camp fire to keep wild animals away. So all those things we need to do. So Manu gets set up on other things, and we go to collect dry leaves and stuff and branches though that were on the ground. So we go and then we see a knife and some movement. We call Manu over, our love interest over, and then the knife was gone. But we could swear we saw a big knife, actually bigger than the one that our love interest has. So definitely, I think there is some presence of, someone here. And remember, someone tried to drown us at the port when we were talking about going to Moku Island. I don't know, but it could be connected. This is definitely mysterious. Now, we will find more about that, but it was just a rabbit that came out of that bush. And also, the way our love interest grifters for thinking that that was another panther or someone hiding behind the bushes, but it was just a, bunny. So that was also hilarious. Another thing why this book is at the same time funny, also steamy, and also thrilling adventure because you're at the mercy of nature. And when you're at the mercy of nature, wild animals and everything, you're vulnerable. And that's what it makes it super awesome. And then we go to the camping and not camping, like it's not a camping, but it will become close to camping. And then we get back to setting the camp, and our love interest will teach us a new thing, that is how to make use of the braids and how to make bowl out of leaves and stuff, whatever you find there in the nature. That would be really interesting. You will learn this. And also we need to make like do a makeover. We can do it. It's a diamond scene, so we're gonna be staying there for the rest of the book, in front of the beach in that place, which is safer, not in the jungle but outside. And maybe if any boat comes to rescue us, or any rescuers are there, they will probably have better chance to see us. So we can just like set flags there, white flags, so anyone will see us if there is anyone, granted, of course. But we also have like a place for sleeping that Manu sets, and we also make quick work of the fire, like with woods and stuff, like the way, if you ever have been to camping, then the way they teach you how to ignite fire, like with, like, you just need to, like, with both your hands you have a stick and you just squeeze it in between your palms, and then you need to also blow it when you see the smoke, and then the fire will come. So, and you finally get a fire that will keep you safe from the wild animals there. And you get to do a complete makeover there, which was really interesting, and it looked really super awesome. I really loved what they did, with this, because the survival part is just intimidating, because that's what happens, right? Because fire to protect you from wild animals. Then you collect foods that you don't have yet, but you have drinking water. We took care of that. We have a shelter, and we put up some flags and stuff. So if any rescuer comes, they will see it. Now, and then we see night falls, and our love interest is only made just one swinging bed. Then our love interest goes to sleep on the sand, but that is not what we want. So we have a diamond scene that we will get to offer our main character to sleep with us side by side. I chose the diamond scene, and I think it will also increase your bond points, and it's just the fair thing to do, right? So we'll be sleeping side by side, sharing body heat also, and just blissful, because the way it was described. So we will be sleeping on the sides, and Manu's our love interest chest will be pressed on our back, and they will be putting their hands below our head, beneath our head as a pillow, and then we'll be just in the environment, the black tree, like the darkness will be engulfing everything, and the trees and everything. Also in the background, we will listen to the waves crashing in the shore, and also our love interest breathing against our neck. It's like the rhythmic beauty that is there. So a rhythm is forming there. It's a blissful, peaceful, and then we will just drift off to sleep in that. That was the best part about it. In the morning, we'll wake up and we'll have a little intimate moment with our love interest, and you can just go with it. But then both of you will fall from that, and that will be a sign that you need to make quick work and find more stuff to survive here, food namely. And you should not be burning daylight, because daylight is really important there when you're stranded and you don't have lamps, you don't have torches, you don't have anything to light stuff up at night. So yeah, this was really interesting. Then our stomach is growling because we are hungry and we need to collect food. And that's where it ends. So we'll be probably looking for food. We'll go for hunting or something. That's in the next chapter. What are we going to eat? Because that's an interesting thing. And we don't want to eat anything that's poisonous. What will happen next? Will we survive? We will see. And that's it for this week's chapter of Shipwrecked. Let me know in the comments how do you feel about this chapter. To me, it was really interesting. Another interesting chapter started out with a terror of a panther, ended up with blissful moments and steamy moment to their love interest. So what they did with this book, the music is really awesome. They have used With Every Heartbeat's music and lots of other interesting music. So that's just it's it's really it's really it's really heart touching when you play it, specifically for me, because those musics are really blissful. And then the background, what they did with it, the nature, the scenic view, the scenery, the blue, the green. It's just it does feel like, if you combine this with the music and the writing, it does feel like you are in the lap of the nature, and in that place, stranded with a love interest. It's just awesome. I'm liking this book so far. So there's been critique about this book, that not really critique, because I would rather say it as criticism. That is, this book is that hookup book. I mean, I wouldn't deny that there is, we didn't hook up with our love interest yet till chapter 4. So that's something. But there is steamy moments, there is romance. But I wouldn't say it's just only about hookup, because there is also a lot of other dynamic to this, because the writing team, what they did with like how the character development, because our love interest doesn't just want to like, hey, let's hook up and nothing. It's not just that. It's because there is heart to heart, there is a proper dynamic, there is a chemistry between the love interest and our main character. So this is a romance book, but in a really good way. It is just like how Gabe was a love interest who was a prime love interest, but didn't just like a proper slow burn. It was there. So definitely like that. It's a really interesting love interest you have here. A good story, the background, the music, and when you're shipwrecked, you're up for a lot of good views. That is there, and also good music, and from time to time, a hint of adventure, hint of danger, and the survival instincts. It's more than just one thing or the other. It's a combination of a lot of things. Yeah, the bonding, the chemistry between love interest and main character stand out. That definitely stands out, as it should, because that is going to help us in the future. And also the part that this is just mostly, the setting is two characters, love interest and main character. That makes it so special, because like I said earlier at the start of this video, no other book has this, and this is going to go in a different direction, because when there's two characters, because tell me how many love interests we have wanted to spend times but I couldn't, but here we get to spend endless time with the love interest. And I think we will get to the conclusion by the end, and we will reach a different level of understanding with our love interest, which will be deeper, which will be greater, and which will be more intimate than anything. And I think it would be one of the most developed relationships and choices, just because you get to spend so much time, and it's just not attacking each other's bodies, but it's just understanding, mutual understanding, and the chemistry, like the dry humor, sarcasm of the love interest. I would say I'm looking forward to it. There's more to it. As a fan of Shipwrecked, I would hope it gets a book too, but I don't think it's as popular as other books. But let's hope what happens. Let's hope for the best. But I will say there's going to be a lot of mystery with this Mystery Island and a lot of other stuff. Let's see. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.